like understanding that everything has come from the Lord, and we understand what is our dharma, means what is our propensity and all. So through that we perform our occupation in a dharmic way, and we understand that whatever comes by performing that occupation, we consider that as the quota, our quota, and we don't disturb any other, we don't exploit others and all. So if one can live according to the Ishavasya principle, in one sense it is only akarma. Hmm. So then this shloka says one should live like that for hundreds of years, because that is the right thing to do. So that way. So yeah. Okay, Anish, I think you can read from here the instructions of Sri Ishopanishad.
The instructions of Sri Ishopanishad are more elaborately explained in the Bhagavad Gita, sometimes called the Gitopanishad, the cream of all the Upanishads. In the Bhagavad Gita 3.9 to 16, the personality of Godhead says that one cannot attain the state of Naishkarmya or Akarma without executing the prescribed duties mentioned in the Vedic literature. This literature can regulate the working energy of a human being in such a way that he can gradually realize the authority of the Supreme Being.
Continue.
When he realizes the authority of the personality of Godhead, Vasudev or Krishna, it is to be understood that he has attained the stage of positive knowledge. It is in this purified stage, the modes of nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance, cannot act, and he is able to work on the basis of Naishkarmya. Such work does not bind one to the cycle of birth and death.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So the first thing is one is materialistic, but when one understands that no one comes in contact with those who follow Vedas or something, so then he understands. Okay, there is a God. It's not initially somebody may be a materialistic and atheistic also. So then by coming in contact with a Vedic followers and all, so they they come to know that no, okay, there is a God, and no, there is an order in the creation. So Shastra is what no governs the creation. Means the creation is made based on Shastra and all. So so then some so then one wants to follow Shastra. So so that is what Prabhupada is saying. He realizes the authority of the Supreme Being. So, slowly he does the karma yoga and all. So then slowly he understands that no, he realizes the authority of the Supreme Being. Then also one understands no that the futility of the material pleasure. Hmm. So initially one may be worshipping the demigods, no, for material purposes he may be doing, but slowly as one gets purified, he will realize the futility of the material existence, and he will more and more understand about the knowledge of Krishna. So then he he resolves that no, okay, now let me only focus on the spiritual life. So then he slowly takes to Jnana Yoga and all. It may happen like that, or one may directly come to Bhakti Yoga. So then and then one will not act for any material thing. He may do it as his duty, but his focus will be only on spiritual. So that is Naishkarmya. So in Bhakti contest, we can see in like this. So first, yeah. So initially, because we have both material desires as well as spiritual desires. So we perform bhakti, like we do sadhana and all, but we have some material needs, also desires. So one may work, one may do some occupation, job or something, but one does it with detachment. So the goal also of doing that work, one is very clear that no, this is for fulfilling my material needs, but not the goal is not sense gratification. So and he offers also some fruits, uh, in devotional service. So initially work with detachment. So then there is Sambandha Gyan and all. And he may also initially, while performing bhakti, he may not, the desires also may not be very pure. Some material desires could be there. But then slowly, he gets purified. Then he understands the philosophy of bhakti. Okay, who is Krishna? What is my relationship with Krishna? What is this devotional service? Slowly, as one reads, Prabhupada books, and as one performs bhakti over some years, so then one understands. Okay, the Sambandha Gyan one understands. So then one may want to take initiation and all these things. So then one will take the vow to chant 16 rounds, follow four regulative principles. So then he will be purified, the heart will be purified, material desires will decrease, and then one may come to a stage, okay, now let me dedicate my whole life for doing only bhakti. So one may retire from the material life and one will focus purely on bhakti or service to Vaishnavas. Yeah, if you see Chitraketu's story, initially he wants a son, but he wants a child, that is a material desire. But because he came in contact with the sages, so he worshipped the sages, and initially he followed the Vedas and he got a son. But the sages told, no, the son will cause problem and all. So because he had that respect for the sages, so when his son died, he was ready again to hear from the sages, and that time they told about spiritual knowledge, they told about God and all. So he took it up that time. But still he has some material desires also. That's why he became the king of Vidyadharas. Though he got the darshan of Sankarshan and all, Lord Sankarshan, but he had still some material desires. So then because of that curse from Mother Parvati and all, he became more and more purified. And though he got in the body of Vritrasur, but his consciousness was very very pure. So his desire, if you see the prayers of uh, the the Chatushloki Bhagavatam, they're focused on pure devotional service. No, Narasadhipatyam, all that shlokas. So it's very focused on pure and he just wanted to leave the body so that he can immediately meet the Lord in Vaikuntha. So then he got purified and he transcended the world. Yes, bro, you can read now. Factually, no one has to do anything.
Factually, no one has to do anything more than render devotional service to the Lord. However, in the lower stages of life, one cannot immediately adopt the activities of devotional service, nor can one completely stop fruitive work. A conditioned soul is accustomed to work for sense gratification, for his own selfish interest, immediate or extended. An ordinary man works for his own sense enjoyment, and when this principle of sense enjoyment is extended to include his society, nation, or humanity in general. It assumes various attractive names such as altruism, socialism, communism, nationalism, and humanitarianism. These isms are certainly very attractive forms of karma bandhana, karmic bondage. But the Vedic instructions of Sri Ishopanishad is that if one actually wants to live for any of the above isms, he should make them God-centered. There is no harm in becoming a family man or an altruist, a socialist, a communist, a nationalist, or a humanitarian provided that one executes his activities in relation with Ishavasya, or the God-centered conception.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, initially here Prabhupada is saying, however, in the lower, nice. However, in the lower stages of life, one cannot immediately adopt the activities of devotional service. Yeah, because one has both material desires and spiritual desires. So one cannot take to full time, like, no, devotional service. So that's why one also has to do fruity work. And another reason can be like, if one is young, one has a family, though he may be very advanced spiritually, but he has to provide for his family, or he may have to even provide for himself and things like that. So that's why, like if you see Tukaram Maharaj also, because he had a family, but though he's very advanced, he had to do that work. He had to earn and all. Because it even like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he was married and all, but when he realized his Swarupa and all, so immediately he cannot get out of it. So he worked, and that also helped him in his preaching. So then at some point, like when he felt that he, he's done, he doesn't need anymore, like he has sons and all, he has enough property and all, by which he can maintain himself further. So he resigned and he took to full devotional service, and he took Babaji Diksha and all that. Yeah. Then Prabhupada is talking about this isms. So it is this isms means it's a collective enjoyment. Means one is generally initially in normally one considers or identifies himself with the body, and he wants to enjoy through the body. But here he is in this isms, he identifies with a collective entity, like no, okay, I belong to this caste, or I am a Hindu, or I am an Indian, and he wants to enjoy. Like Indians, they want to enjoy, like India wins a match, some cricket match, so they want to enjoy that, but the goal is enjoyment. So that is the thing in this collective enjoyment. The pro we will Yeah, we will discuss it. Yeah, maybe after this paragraph we'll discuss it little detailed. Then Prabhupada is saying about this isms, like this collective identities one can have, means one can identify with India or something, but the it should be God centered. So that's why, like if someone has a he has that inclination to help poor people or give food for poor people, so it can be made God centered, like we have food for life and all. Or someone has this they want to improve society and all things like that, so then it can be done based on Shastra, so establish the way, inspire people to take to Vedic knowledge and all, so that way, Vedic knowledge and eventually Krishna consciousness. So that can be done. It's not wrong, means it need not be rejected, but it can be spiritualized. Yes, bro, you can read in the Bhagavad Gita.
In the Bhagavad Gita 2.40, Lord Krishna states that God center activities are so valuable that just a few of them can save a person from the greatest danger. The greatest danger of life is the danger of sliding down again into the evolutionary cycle of birth and death among the 8,400,000 species. If somehow or other a man misses the spiritual opportunity afforded by his human form of life and falls down again into the evolutionary cycle, he must be considered most unfortunate. Due to his defective senses, a foolish man cannot see that this is happening. Consequently, Sri Isopanishad advises us to exert our energy into the spirit of Ishavasya, being so engaged we may wish to live for many, many years. Otherwise, a long life is in itself has no value. A tree lives for hundreds and hundreds of years, but there is no point in living a long life like trees, or breathing like bellows, or begetting children like hogs and dogs, or eating like camels. A humble, God centered life is more valuable than a colossal hoax of a life dedicated to godless altruism or socialism.
Hmm. Yeah. So Prabhupada here, this theme is going to come in the third verse also. That that's what, if someone does not do akarma, then one will be, and if someone even does not do karma, like the pious activities also, if he's not even following Shastra in his life, then it is obvious that he is doing vikarma, and in that way he will go into the lower species of life, or he may go to hellish punishment. So there are levels in that, but so one may lose this opportunity of human form of life. Okay, so yeah, we will discuss this. So this collective consciousness or collective activities, they can be generally they many most of the cases they will be selfish. So this collective, in most cases, they will be selfish, generally in the form of nationalism. Nationalism means what? People are all united in form of a nation and they identify with the nation. But the thing is what? To to get more and more resources for sense gratification, because collectively if they join their efforts they can get more resources, so they only worry about GDP and all that, and for their nation's sake they are ready to destroy another nation. So that is nationalism. Like if you see like the western countries and all, they're ready to exploit the countries in the Middle East like Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq for their own economic development. Yeah. Actually, they killed more people. More people were killed, made homeless, and were affected with scarcity of food in Afghanistan and Iran, Iraq. Then the people who are who have died in the 9/11. So that is an example of nationalism. Even caste also same thing. It's basically they want to enjoy themselves. It's not, so that is selfish. It's a selfish collective consciousness. Even a materialistic family, they want to stay together but they want to help each other in their own sense gratification. So that is but in some cases it can be selfless, like there is a volunteer organization, maybe like Red Cross, like there are different or some organizations which are function. So they have some selfless motive. They come together, they give their time, they also give money to help poor people. So that is in some way it's a, they may have also some material desires, some selfish desires, but they have also this selfless thing. Or if it is a Krishna conscious family, and if really Krishna is in center, so they come together and they help each other in their Krishna consciousness. So that is a selfless, a collective consciousness, but it is a selfless. So this is what the isms which Prabhupada talked about. Now, Prabhupada also talked about that a humble God-centered life is more valuable than a colossal hoax of life. See, both are considered good. A God-centered life is also considered good, but this altruism and socialism also considered good. So, a good action can be if there is God consciousness. So then what will happen? If it is an individual identity, means somebody is just practicing spiritual life and all, so he will the purified, and he will be purified himself, and he will eventually advance spiritually. But if it is done in a collective identity, so if somebody is preaching or distributing prasad and all, so it will benefit so many people, and they will get material benefit also, and they will get spiritual benefit. But if a good action is done without any God consciousness, so then uh, he may be pious benefit. Like even if it is Vedic, he may get pious benefit. If it is not a Vedic thing, then he will get materially entangled and he will incur sin. But if he does a selfless activity without God consciousness, so that is what here Prabhupada is talking about, colossal hoax of godless altruism and socialism. So then what happens? They are spreading material life. They may improve the lives of the people at a material level, but they are making them more and more material conscious. Like in village, if children are there, there may be a good spiritual culture, but though they may have some, they may not have proper food and all, they may have it. But a social worker goes, but he is not a God-centered person. So he goes and he gives them, he provides them food, he provides them education. But that education also teaches about materialistic life. And so that way, actually, they will become more, they may become materially better, but they'll degrade themselves spiritually. So that's more dangerous. Uh, a selfless activity without God consciousness is like more dangerous. Then somebody is, maybe he's just worrying about himself, but he's practicing spiritual life. That is better. That's what Prabhupada is telling. Yeah. So like the big businessman, they give free education and all, but they actually make the people more and more, take the people more and more away from uh, Vedic culture as well as God. So that is more dangerous. This thing is going to come also in the further verses. We will discuss that thing. Again, Prabhupada writes in the explains it in purports. Pro, so you can read this when altruistic activities.
When altruistic activities are executed in the spirit of Sri Ishopanishad, they become a form of karma yoga. Such activities are recommended in Bhagavad Gita 18.5 to 9, for they guarantee their executor protection from the danger of sliding down into the evolutionary process of birth and death. Even though such God centered activities may be half finished, they are still good for the executor because they will guarantee him a human form in his next birth. In this way, one can have another chance to improve his position on the path of liberation.
Okay, thank you. Just a minute. I will just see. Stay with me. Yeah, such activities are recommended in the Bhagavad. Yeah, like Bhagavad Gita also says that even if somebody is renounced, he should still perform this yajna dana tapa. Means dana also he has to perform. He should do something good for the society and all. So it's not like spiritual life is totally against things like social service or something. They are uh, against social service which is performed without God consciousness and which is centered on materialistic life, propagating the materialistic life. So that is very much condemned by spiritual teachers and all. But if the social service is God centered, then it is fine. But that is, again, one should also understand that is not ultimate. Like people have this conception of Manav Seva, Madhav Seva, and all. That is correct, but when one has God consciousness, if that Manav Seva is done with God consciousness, then it can become Madhav Seva, like in the case of Ranti Dev in Bhagavatam we can see. Otherwise, if one is conscious that these are children of God, and on my part I'm providing them the material needs so that they will, so once they have material needs, and then they can practice spiritual life. So with that consciousness one does it, so then that can be seen as God consciousness, service to God. But if one does not have that, but one still justifies no Manav Seva, Madhav Seva, but he is not God conscious, so that is wrong. So that is what our acharyas condemn. Okay.
Question. If some are
No, no,
do
that is my question. I'll read it. I'll
okay,
explain.
sorry.
Okay. Okay. So now, like somebody who is like doing social service. So how will you explain them the advantage of a God-centered social service, and like what will you tell them or something? Someone can answer. Yes, Prabhu. Mahadev Kishore Prabhu can answer. Your voice is not audible.
Our best example is Bhaktivedanta Hospital. So normally,
You can be a little louder. Somehow your voice is breaking.
yes, now it is fine.
Yeah, now it's better.
We can, the example is Bhaktivedanta Hospital. In Bhaktivedanta Hospital, will provide the medical services to the patients as well as the spiritual seva. Like we
Mm.
will play the kirtans there and some spiritual
Yeah.
things we provide there. It's the best
Mm.
example.
Yes,
Another
yes.
is that someone is giving the food to food to the poor people. You can
Mm.
offer that same food to the Lord Vishnu and Lord
Mm.
Krishna. Give that same food. The what happens if while giving also that person doesn't take the karma, but it is a Lord's prasad. In
Yeah.
that
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else wants to answer? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. Balraj Prabhu can answer.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, and just an extension to what Mahadev Prabhu said, there are a lot of poor people who are in the name of religion being converted also.
Mm-hmm.
So they are in the faith right now, and just because they are poor, they are being offered some money, and like their faith is shaken out there.
Mm.
So educating them by providing the social service, with the social service we can provide them
Yeah.
financial support,
Yeah.
but educating them that their faith is not shaken, or like giving them Krishna consciousness knowledge
Yeah.
and knowledge of Bhagavad Gita.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. Good, good. Okay. Okay, Ashish Prabhu.
I have seen a few devotees sponsoring the food to poor kids,
Yeah.
which is Krishna Prasad basically.
Okay.
So it helps improve their consciousness, those kids' consciousness,
Yeah.
as well as it purifies us also.
Yeah.
So this is both like
Mm.
spiritual service with God consciousness
Yes, yes.
and doing the charity.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Anish, you want to answer?
Yes, actually, the in the question it is said कि if someone is doing service, how we should explain them about
Yeah, yeah. Yes,
God-centered.
yes, yes.
So, actually, we can tell them, I don't know how much they will have faith in us, but we can try telling them
Mm.
about the science of soul and maybe what they are doing social service that is very good,
Mm.
but that is limited to the body, which is
Yeah,
eventually going to die.
yeah,
But if they, along with the body, they should feed the soul as well, which
mm,
is connecting them to God.
yeah,
And we can give the example of Prabhupada that
mm,
if we see a poor man, a rich man's son lost and
yeah,
he is living like a beggar, we can connect him to
mm,
the rich person.
yeah. Yeah, so that's a good analogy, which is very simple to understand and easy to understand. And yes, so we should never like not tell them that what they are doing is wrong, but we can say that it is not complete, and they can make it complete by making it God-centered. And that will benefit them also, because the benefit which they get by doing just social mundane social service is also again material. But if they spiritualize it, then it becomes more they will get spiritual benefit also along with that. Yes. Okay. Yeah, you can read the last paragraph. How one can.
How one can execute God-centered activities is elaborately explained in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. We have rendered this book into English as the Nectar of Devotion. We recommend this valuable book to all who are interested in performing their activities in the spirit of Ishopanishad.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so where is the huh. So here, like how to perform, like people may work, but if they perform bhakti, so that how to perform that bhakti is there in the nectar of devotion. So once they start performing bhakti, they will slowly develop detachment. So then they will begin to work with detachment. Then means like they may give some donation and they may become less and less materialistic. So then once they perform bhakti in a more regulated way, more serious way, then they will understand the spiritual knowledge, etc. They will want to take committed sadhana in form of chanting 16 rounds and uh, rendering service in the temple, being in the association of devotees like that. Then slowly they will advance. Yes. Okay, any questions on the second verse? Anyone? Okay, then we will proceed to the third verse. The third verse discusses about the consequences of not following the Ishavasya principle. The second verse discuss that what are the advantages of following the Ishavasya principle. So, which is one will not be entangled in this material world. One will become more and more disentangled. And in this, so the verse says that one should live life like this, eternally. So because that will help one to disentangle from the material world and eventually one can get liberated also. Okay, so so you can recite after me. Asurya nama te loka
A-
andena tamasavrita
आसुर्या नाम ते लोका अन्धेन तमसावृता
tamaste prityabhigachanti ye ki chatmahano jana.
तांस्ते प्रीत्याभिगच्छन्ति ये के चात्मोहनो जनाः
So the killer of the soul, whoever he may be, must enter into the planets known as the worlds of the faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. So basically, the verse is telling that those who will not follow this Ishavasya principle, they are killers of their soul. Hmm? And what result they will get? They will enter into the planets known as the worlds of faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. Yes, bro, you can read the purport.
Human life is distinguished from animal life due to its heavy responsibilities. Those who are cognizant of these responsibilities and who work in that spirit are called the suras, godly persons. And those who are neglectful of these responsibilities or who have no information of them are called asuras, demons. Throughout the universe, there are only these two types of human being. In the Rig Veda, it is stated that the Suras always aim at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Vishnu and act accordingly. Their ways are as illuminated as the path of the sun.
Okay. Yeah, so two types are there. One is suras. Suras means they follow God's laws, and asuras means they don't follow God's laws. Means in suras also they may have material desires, they may be a bit materialistic, but they will follow God's laws while being materialistic. Suras means they are outright against scriptures and all. Like we now the Bhagavatam discussion is going on, like how Hiranyakashipu is wants to destroy all the Vedic culture, wants to destroy Goshalas, wants to destroy the ashramas of Brahmanas, all these things. So that is Asuric mentality. So Asuras is one thing, and Rakshasas means they are man eaters. Like Asuras, they are inimical to demigods, and Rakshasas they are even inimical to human beings. But yeah, both fall in the same category of they are against God's laws. There is another verse in Padma Puran. Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin daiva asura evacha Vishnu bhakta smruto deva asurastad viparyaya. So this is the shloka that gives the definition of these things. So like in a country also there are good citizens and there are law-abiding citizens and there are bad citizens who are kept in the prison, etc. So criminal who act criminal, who commit criminal activities, etc. So like that. Yes, bro, you can read. Continue. Intelligent human.
Intelligent human beings must always remember that the soul obtains a human form after an evolution of many millions of years in the cycle of transmigration. The material world is sometimes compared to an ocean, and the human body is compared to a solid boat designed especially to cross this ocean. The Vedic scriptures and the acharyas or saintly teachers are compared to expert boatmen, and the facilities of the human body are compared to favorable breezes that help the boat ply smoothly to its desired destination. If with all these facilities, a human being does not fully utilize his life for self-realization, he must be considered an atmaha, a killer of the soul. Sri Ishopanishad warns in clear terms that the killer of the soul is destined to enter into the darkest region of ignorance to suffer perpetually.
Yeah. So uh, means the purpose of human life is to follow dharma, which also includes one should also spiritually advance. So if one is not doing that, so then he's a killer of the soul. Means he wants to lose his human form of life, and he's degrading his atma basically. Because by following dharma and eventually bhakti, the soul will evolve spiritually. So if one is not doing that, and only the human form of life it is possible, but in other forms of life it is not possible. So if one is not doing that, he is really destroying his own soul. That so that is the explanation of the atmaha. Yeah, so this Bhagavatam verse describes that Nirdehamadyam sulabam sudurlabam plavam sukalpam gurukarnadaram mayanukulena nabasvateritam uman bhavabdim na taret sa atmaha. So this is another similar definition given in Bhagavatam of atmaha. The human body, which can award all benefit in life, is automatically obtained by the laws of nature, although it is a very rare achievement, because only for yeah 40 lakh among the 84 lakh species, only 40 lakh are human species, so it's rare. This human body can be compared to a perfectly constructed boat having the spiritual master as the captain and the instructions of the personality of Godhead as favorable winds, impelling it on its course. So both Guru and Shastra, both are available. If you see lower species, they can neither understand Shastra nor they can approach Guru. So only in human form of life it is possible. Considering all these advantages, a human being who does not utilize his human life to cross the ocean of material existence must be considered the killer of his own soul. Means this is a suicide which many may not acknowledge it as a suicide, but in a sense it is a more dangerous suicide than the destroying one's own physical body. Yes, bro, you can continue. There are swines, dogs.
There are swine, dogs, camels, asses, etc., whose economic necessities are just as important to them as ours are to us. But the economic problems of these animals are solved only under nasty and unpleasant conditions. The human being is different from all facilities for a comfortable life. The human being is given all facilities for a comfortable life by the laws of nature because the human form of life is more important and valuable than animal life. Why is man given a better life than that of a swine or and other animals? Why is a highly placed or government servant given better facilities than those of an ordinary clerk? The answer is that a highly placed officer has to discharge duties of a higher nature. Similarly, the duties of human beings have to perform are higher than those of animals who are always engaged in simply feeding their hungry stomachs.
Okay.
Yet, okay.
Yeah. No, no. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you continue. Yet.
Yet, the modern soul-killing civilization has only increased the problems of the hungry stomach. When we approach a polished animal in the form of a modern civilized man and ask him to take interest in self realization, he will say that he simply wants to work to satisfy his stomach and that there is no need for self realization for a hungry man. The laws of nature are so cruel, however, that despite his denunciation of the need of self realization and his eagerness to work hard to fill his stomach, he is always threatened by unemployment.
Yeah. So if you see the animal life in terms of eating, means one thing is the animal life is always constantly in, it is always constantly in the mode of fear. Because if you see in the jungle, even like not the deer and all, while they want to, if they want to drink water also, they're always no worried. They're always alert. No, if some tiger is coming nearby or no, so they are always alert. And even if you see the lion and all, even if it kills a deer and all, it has to preserve it. It has to it has to survive on that one deer for no a week or few days, because it cannot always no because all the animals they run away from it. So it's not easy for it also to get food every day. So it has to preserve it, and the food even that becomes rotten, it has to survive on that also. And sometimes the fox and all may uh, get into the cave, and they may eat away or carry it away. So that even the strongest animal also is always constantly in fear. And they don't have so much very close social bonding, like the so there is no so close family structure and all. So the females they may run away and again stay with another male and all. So there are no support systems and all when somebody becomes, when an animal becomes old like that. But in a human form of life, so this family culture is there, and the food they need, in general they need vegetables and all. So they have the ability, they are given the intelligence to how to get food and all this shelter and all easily. And generally they are peaceful and all. It's not like they need to live in a constant anxiety and fear, humans. So that is not needed. So this is all done so that the purpose of the human form of life, which is spiritual advancement, so that can be, that they can focus on. But the modern civilization is doing like opposite of it. So that's why Prabhupada is saying it as soul killing civilization. Yeah. So the modern civilization, what it does, it complicates human life. Mm. So this the eating, it makes it complicated. Eating, sleeping, even mating, defending, it makes it very complicated. Uh, Earlier in the Vedic culture, it is relatively simple, but the modern civilization, it made it complicated, and it glamorizes and propagates materialism. So the Vedic culture, there is, it accommodates materialism, but it gives clarity on the goal. The goal is spiritual advancement. But modern civilization, what it does, it glamorizes and propagates materialism, and it neglects and sometimes opposes spirituality. So you can take much, yeah, maybe 5 minutes you can take, and you can think like in what ways the modern civilization is doing these three things, and we will discuss. Okay, so for the first one, how modern civilization complicates human life. Someone wants. Yeah. Yes, Anish Prabhu, you can start.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so in modern civilization, we have artificially pumped up our needs like cars, technology, phone, and housing and washing machine. And now we are stuck up in such a way that we can't even live without them. So our life has gotten very complicated that way.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, if the needs have become more, then one has to work also long time, and so one will have less time for other things. Yes. Anish Prabhu. Yes, Radhika Gopika Madan. She's there. Okay, we'll proceed further. Sharyu Mataji, Sharyu Sami. Sharyu Mataji, you can answer. Okay, namaste. Okay, Bhargavas Prabhu, you can answer.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, yes.
In terms of in the same line what Anish Tata Prabhuji was saying,
Mhm.
we have also made our relationships very complicated in the modern civilizations.
Mhm.
Like we had service attitude in the Vedic civilization.
Mhm.
So the intent was to serve, and right now the intent is more and more tending towards exploitation. Like we expect a lot of things in relationships, and that's how like no we have made more complicated and more like and that's where like no anxiety, weak relationships, divorces, and such things are like as a
Okay,
part of.
okay. Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Sandeep Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, I was thinking about the modern lifestyle, mainly the city lifestyle. So we were just kind of trying to categorize them across these. So complications are like the cost of living is very high,
Yeah.
the fresh vegetables, fruits not available, transport problem, traffic problems.
Mm.
So it could have been distributed, but because of the way it has been designed, it's very complicated because it's that modern civilization. Then on the name of the whole advertising agencies, the advertising industry, basically, it's glamorizing and propagating the materialism,
Yeah.
which probably they themselves may not follow.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So we heard enough. Maybe others can answer in the second question. Okay. So for the second question, glamorizing and propagating materialism, that you can answer. First question, we have got. Okay, Sharyu Mataji, you want to answer second question? Mahadev Keshapru, you can answer. Your voice is not audible.
I can give the answer of neglect and oppose spirituality or
That third one, okay, then you can answer at that time. Okay, fine. Or okay, you answer. You can, yeah, you can tell on the third one. No problem.
Guruji, this modern education.
Sama,
Basically,
your voice is not low.
now
Now it's
good now.
better.
The modern education is a responsible because modern education is focusing on only how to earn the living, means food and all these things. These things, but this is a natural things in available in spiritual things in Vedic lifetime. We can get the food; it's natural. But why this focus is on earning living things and foods, and this modern education not tell us that the purpose of the human life. It opposes the spiritual. Some neglect the spiritual, which is goal, purpose of the goal.
Okay, okay. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so the modern education, it's basically a factory-centered education. The whole modern education system, it evolved in the Industrial Revolution. So it is the purpose is only to produce, to make children into more workers for the economic development. It's not centered in helping the children to grow spiritually and individually they become happy and all. So that is the fundamental problem with it. Yes, Soumya Mataji, you want to answer?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Actually, my Sharyu Mataji.
Okay.
Actually, my mic is not turning on. That's why
Okay.
I
Yes.
got problem. Yes.
Okay.
In glamour, if we see the modern civilization in technologies such as TV and mobiles, then people are using that mobiles and watching TVs and spending more time on it, and they also get by watching some news and something serious, they get more attracted towards the modern civilization, and that's why they're spending their lot of time in that, and just that's why they are not engaging themselves in the spiritual services.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. If you see even the media and all, because they have to generate money to sustain. So they get only money if they give advertisements for materialistic things, and if they propagate material thing, then people they become popular also by only propagating materialism. So they are only doing that. Like it's so bad that one has to pay so that one will be freed from ads on apps and all. So that is okay. Uh, okay, second or third, anyone else wants to answer? Anita?
Prabhuji, can I speak?
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yes, so Prabhuji, in this second one,
Yeah.
like this space tourism is there.
Yeah.
So that is also there, and then I feel it's very, so much money is spent on
Yeah.
such things,
Yeah.
and glamorizing that, and our film industry also,
Yeah.
you know, there also they show that hero is very rich, you
Yeah.
know, and so many things. So they just create such an illusion that that money is everything, and
Yeah.
hero is every time very rich. So all those things.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Yeah, this is called as soft power. So indirectly they tell, indirectly, though it is in form of recreation, but they indirectly they propagate materialism and all. Means they propagate if you are rich, you are happy. If you are beautiful, you are happy. If you look fit, you are happy. If you visit foreign countries, you will be happy. You will be seen as happy. So in that way, yeah. So that way they propagate materialism. Okay. Yes, Gurmit Prabhu, you can answer. Oh, I missed it.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, you can answer. Gurmit.
Yes, Prabhuji. Also, drinking, smoking, it glamorizes. It shows that life is very good after drinking, smoking.
Yeah.
But actually, it's not that.
Yeah.
It's showing materialistic life
Yeah.
and taking away from the spiritual and Vedic life.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So they make it. It is a normal thing. They make it
It
like
is a
it is.
normal thing and
Yeah.
looks very good.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So. Fine. Yeah. So in this way, that's what like soul killing civilization. So as Prabhupada is saying, so in this way, these are like few ways how the modern civilization is a soul killing civilization. Yes, Anish Pro, you can read from here. We are given this.
We are given this human form of life not to work hard like asses, swine, and dogs, but to attain the highest perfection of life. If we do not care for self-realization, the laws of nature force us to work very hard, even though we may not want to do so. Human beings in this age have been forced to work hard like the asses and the bullocks that pull carts. Some of the regions where the asuras are sent to work are revealed in this verse of Sri Upanishads. If a man fails to discharge his duties as a human being, he is forced to transmigrate to the Asuriya planets and take birth in degraded species of life to work hard in ignorance and darkness.
Yeah. So the vikarma means not following the Shastra. So even if somebody is pious and materialistic, that also falls in karma. So that is, so for that they get pious reactions, not sinful reactions. But if somebody is against Shastra, so that is vikarma. So there are three levels, you can say, of reaction to it. So one is they get painful karma within the human form of life, maybe in this birth or next birth. So and painful karma in terms of adhyatmic, like health problems or emotional health problems, and adi bhautik, problems from others. Then adi dhaivik, like some disasters may happen, and all these heat waves, all this, floods. Recently there were floods in Andhra Pradesh, so like that. Then there are hellish punishment, or one may, after this human life, one may be taken to hell and may be punished for some time. If you read the fifth canto, there is a elaborate description of different hells, for which punishment, what is the punishment, all those things. Or one may be demoted to lower species of life. So this is the most worst, like one going down to the lower species of life, because one will lose the opportunity to make spiritual advancement. Hmm. Okay, so you can take around 5 minutes and you can give examples from Shastra for each of these cases. So the example should be in form of what mistake they have done and what punishment they got. So we need examples from punishment in terms of Adhyatmic Klesh, Adibhautik Klesh, and Adidaivik Klesh. Then hellish punishment. So what wrong they have done, what hellish punishment they got, and what wrong they have done, which lower species they were. So some Shastric instances, examples from Shastra. You can take around 5 minutes. You can take. Okay, so for example, for a vikarma which caused adhyatmic flesh. Someone raise hand. Yes, Priya Mataji.
Prabhuji, Nal Kuber and Manigrave?
Yes, good. Nalukara Manigrave, of course, it goes to lower species, basically not causing health problem. So that comes in the lower species because they became trees.
So it comes under lower species, but not in this.
Yeah, Adhyatmic, see, these three clashes are defined for human beings. Means bodily troubles and all.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yes, Sandeep Prabhu.
So for Adhyatmik, I was thinking that after in Govardhan Leela, what Indra, the embarrassment, that the pain that he goes through later on, and as in the mind, he was pained later on. So that will fall under Adhyatmik. Prabhu?
That will come under Adi Bhautik.
Okay. I was talking about Indra himself, Prabhu. So
yeah, but see, the source of that problem is, it's not like it just came like suddenly he became like no mentally deranged or something.
okay.
There is, the source is caused by others. So that way
Okay.
we more keep it under Adi Bhautik.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. Yes, Shashwati Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes. Prabhuji, in painful karma, we can see the example of Karna. So, like, he was a son of Kunti, but in whole his lifetime, he suffered as a, like, he was calling as a Sut Putra.
Yeah.
Like that. Means, and after that, at the end, he also expresses that all things to Krishna and on the battlefield of Kurukshetra.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Karna case is good, means the suffering is there. We want examples like if somebody is doing something as a result of that, somebody is getting this reaction. But yeah, fine. Okay, Balraj Prabhu.
Prabhuji, the example is of in Mahabharata only of Dhritarashtra. So he was actually favoring his son for all this nonsense that he was trying to do to move away from against the Pandavas, whatever they were like plotting. So he was as a king, he was not stopping his son to do justice to the Pandavas.
Yeah.
So that's where he then had to suffer the karma of having his sons killed in the battle of Kurukshetra, and that's where like the incident comes when he wants to his beloved son Duryodhana. So Bhima killed him. So he wants to kill Bhima and all of that.
Okay. Yes. So this will come under Adi Bhautik primarily. Fine. Thank you. Yes, Mahadev Keshav Prabhu.
Okay.
Prabhuji, Adhyatmik or Adhyatmik?
I'm looking for Adhyatmik, but you can tell other examples also. No problem.
You know the Srivas Pandit, there is one Brahman, there is a Karmi Brahman who puts something on the front of door and got the somebody.
He got leprosy, no? Yeah. Gopal Chappal. Yeah, this is a very clear and example of Adhyatmik. Yes, Anish Prabhu, you want to? Okay, not there. Okay, so and also there is an example of Amoga also. Amoga, when he offends Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gets cholera. So that is like an example of Adhyatmik. Adibhautik, we got good examples. Now someone wants Adidhaivik example, like somebody has committed some sinful reaction, and because of that there is a natural calamity. Because of it's maybe a group or maybe an individual. Okay, Balraj Pro, you want to answer? Adidhaivik.
Sorry, Prabhuji, I had to raise hand my down, so it was already raised for the earlier question.
Okay, that way. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, the Venu Maharaj has done some.
Yeah.
Then later on, the earth is not giving food.
Yes, the earth is not giving the resources and all because of the sins committed by Venu. This is a good example of Adi Daivik. Yes. Thank you. Okay, anyone else? Adi Daivik. Yes, Shashwati Mataji.
Prabhuji, I want to confirm just that
Hmm.
the birth of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, does
Hmm.
it come in Aditavik?
Uh, we can, so this, see, you can say that as lower species. See, from the perspective of Jai Vijay, they have done
Okay.
Vikarma, like offending Kumaras. So because of that, they got into lower species of demons. So that way.
Okay.
Yeah, means there is a symptom of that their birth. There is a lot of chaos in the universe and so much disturbance in the universe. But that
Yes,
is a
yes.
symptom just of that event. It's not like because somebody did something wrong and because of that, that reaction thing has come.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, for Aditya, you can even say Govardhan Leela in some way, like because they have not worshipped Indra causing that. Of course, it is a disproportionate reaction, but it is something like that. But Prithu Maharaj is more appropriate. But yeah, there are some more similar examples also in Shastra. Okay, now hellish punishment, like somebody did something wrong, because of which he is sent to hell. Yes, Anish Prabhu. Yes.
Prabhuji, even though Ajamil didn't go to hell actually, but he was going in that way. So
Yeah.
this can be an example.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Anyone else? Any? Okay. Yeah, in Mahabharata there is description because Yudhishthira Maharaj lied, so he did not go to hell. He's just supposed to visit hell. It's not like he's supposed to suffer in hell. So there is a description of that. And even there is a story in Bhagavatam because it is Mundak Rishi, I think, because some insect he was piercing that insect with a needle. So because of which he was taken to hell. So he's taken to hell. He was, of course, yeah. Sorry, that is a wrong example because he was caught and he was going to punished in that way. So because of that, he becomes angry and he goes to hell and curses Yamaraj, and that's why he comes as Vidura. Okay, he doesn't exactly go to hell, but okay, lower species. Anyone wants to? Yeah? Yes, Sandeep Prabhu can do.
Nreg Maharaj Nreg,
Yeah,
and like Mataji said, Nalkube, or even
yes,
Indra, I think once he got one different species.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Anish Prabhu can.
Bharat Maharaj became a deer.
Yes. Good. Thank you. Yes, Soumya Mataji. Not there. Okay, take Mahadev Keshav Prabhu. Yes.
Gajendra and the crocodile.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we see how doing Vikarma, it leads to this suffering, punishment, which it can be in three types. Yes, Anish Prabhu, you can continue reading in the Bhagavad Gita.
In the Bhagavad Gita 6.41 to 43, it is stated that a man who enters upon the path of self-realization but does not complete the process, despite having sincerely tried to realize his relationship with God, is given a chance to appear in the family of Shuchi or Srimat. The word Shuchi indicates a spiritually advanced Brahmana, and Srimat indicates a Vaishya, a member of the mercantile community. So the person who fails to achieve the self-realization is given a better chance in his next life due to his sincere efforts in this life. If even a fallen candidate is given a chance to take birth in a respectable and noble family, one can hardly imagine the status of one who has achieved success. By simply attempting to realize God, one is guaranteed birth in a wealthy or aristocratic family. But those who do not even make an attempt, who want to be covered by illusion, who are too materialistic and too attached to material enjoyment, must enter into the darkest regions of hell as confirmed throughout the Vedic literature. Such materialistic asuras sometimes make a show of religion.
But their ultimate aim,
Okay, I just missed it.
such
Make,
materialistic asuras sometimes make a show of religion,
yeah,
but their
but their
ultimate,
ultimate aim is material prosperity.
okay. Yeah, so here Prabhupada is saying if you do akarma, even if you fail, means because of there can be some problem which you will study in Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita also it will come in the 6th chapter. So because of some material desire or something, they could not succeed, or they may get carried away, means they may leave the path without succeeding, but so still they'll be given the chance to continue in that path of akarma. It applies, this principle applies to all, like it's not just bhakti yoga, it applies to jnana yoga and karma yoga also, nishkam karma yoga also. So so if the even if you don't succeed also, even if you don't complete it also, so much facility is being given, so much consideration is being made. So what if you can just you know if you do it properly and if you succeed it, so there is a lot more benefit. It's obvious, no? If a pass, if even if a pass student is seen a very great, so then what about somebody who is like a very, who is very high scoring topper? Like if you see some very good institutes like IITs and all, even an average performer gets a very big package there. So what to speak of toppers? Even an average performer of bhakti is given such a very high facility and not seen very prominently by the Lord. So what about somebody who has perfected devotion service like that? Yeah. Like now, Prabhupada is saying that those who are materialistic, sometimes they even make a show of religion, but ultimately their goal is material prosperity. So even religion can be performed. One goal of performing religion is spiritual cause, spiritual purpose is there. So this will fall as akarma. So then another is material cause. So the material cause, if the religion is performed based on Shastra, so then it is passion, but it is karma. But sometimes religion can be performed, means the form may look very religious, but it is formed against Shastra. Means the purpose is not authorized by Shastra. So that is vikarma. Like if you take, let's say, the Ganesh Chaturthi example only. So somebody understands that Ganesh is a demigod, but means he has that conception of Vishnu is the supreme lord, but Ganesh is also a demigod. Somebody like practicing Nishkam Karma Yoga, etc. So he sees, okay, Ganesh is providing me something, so I should reciprocate. Means in a dutiful manner. So he goes, he performs puja, and he reads the glories of Ganesh, that some stories regarding the greatness of Ganesh, and he performs puja with all some that particular special leaves and all. He offers that leaves to Ganesh ji, and he celebrates in a as done by Shastras. So that is more in a goodness level. Then there may be somebody who are facing some difficulties or who have some material desires. They want wealth, they want fame, so they go to that Ganesh ji and they ask so many material desires, and they also will perform puja, and they may give donation and all. They may not spend so much time, but they will just give donation, and they do. They themselves may keep that pandal and all also. But and they may do things shastrically. They may perform pujas to Ganesh ji every day, and they may do little dharmic way they may do. Then there may be some people, they want to make publicity themselves. I know they are very religious, so they will collect money from people, and they will keep Ganesh ji also, but they will keep their big photo also. That so and so he has published all this, so and so has given this. Or some people, they may collect all this chanda donation and all. They may keep a show of not doing that, but of Ganesh ji and all. They may call some some purohit, and they do something also. But a significant amount of that money they used for their own sense gratification, for breaking four regulative principles and all. So that is again vikarma in the name of religion. So they may perform religion, but the goal is material prosperity. Sometimes they may perform genuine religion for material prosperity, or sometimes they just make a show of religion, but again to get material prosperity. So this thing they will, Prabhupada means in future shlokas we will discuss, making a show of religion for material prosperity. Yes, Prabhu, you can read the Bhagavad Gita 6.
The Bhagavad Gita 16.17 and 18 rebukes such men by calling them Atma Sambhavita, meaning that they are considered great only on the strength of deception and are empowered by the votes of the ignorant and their own material wealth. Such asuras devoid of self-realization and knowledge of Ishavasya, the Lord's universal proprietorship, are certain to enter into the darkest regions. The conclusion is that as human beings, we are meant not simply for solving economic problems of the tottering on the tottering platform, but for solving all the problems of the material life into which we have been placed by the laws of nature.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so material problem is not, economic problem is not just the problem, but there are many other things that needs to be solved. So that is more important, and along with it, also one has to solve the economic problem that is there. Okay. Okay, any questions on this verse? So this verse talks about if one does not follow the Ishavasya principle, he is a killer of his own soul, and the punishment he is going to get punished. Okay. Okay, so we will recite this shloka and discuss a little bit. We'll discuss it further. So from now on, so some qualities of the Lord are being described. Because Isha is being talked in the first shloka. So who is that Isha? What are his qualities? So that is being discussed in this shloka. Yes, Bro, so you can recite after me. Anejadamekam manaso javiyo naina deva apnuvan purvamarshad.
अनेजदेकं मनसोजवीयो नैनद्देव आपनुवन् पूर्वमर्षत्
तद्धावतोऽन्यन् अत्येति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन् अपो मतरिष्य ददाति.
तद्धावतोऽन्यान् अत्येति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन् अपो मातरिष्व ददाति.
So the translation, although fixed in his abode, the personality of Godhead is swifter than the mind and can overcome all others running. The powerful demigods cannot approach him. Although in one place he controls those who supply the air and rain, he surpasses all in excellence. So here Lord is glorified through describing some contradictions. So generally, these kind of verses we don't find in Bhagavatam and even Bhagavad Gita also. So if you see in Bhagavad Gita, we find verses like Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashvatam, Divyam, Adidevam, Ajam Vibhum. So directly they tell about God. But here it is described in a very, little indirect in a way, through contradictions and all. So I just like, what is the benefit? You can just think about it, like why there is a need of explaining in this contradictory ways, no? That Lord is fixed in his abode, but he's swifter than mind. And anyone wants to answer? why can't the Lord be described directly, but why he's being described here in like this contradictory way through like this? You can try. It's yes, Aman Pro. Yes.
Yes, sir. So Raji, it gives a different flavor of understanding the Lord, that Lord is Achintya. And
Good.
yes, Raji.
Okay, yes, thank you. This is glorifying the Achintya quality of the Lord. Yes. Okay.
Prabhuji, the completeness of Lord is explained in different directions. That is correct. That's why.
Okay. Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Yes, Anish Prabhu.
Maybe for us to understand that the Lord is above mundane contradictions.
Okay, yes, yes. Okay, yeah, fine, fine. Okay. Any other points from a writing perspective or like a reader perspective or something? Literary perspective. Yes, Anish Prabhu.
I think the Upanishads are read mainly by the impersonalists, so maybe for them it is written like that.
Yeah, not exactly they are impersonalists. Yeah, so there is, yes, that is a point, but yeah, correct. They are intellectuals. It's written more for intellectuals, not impersonalists, and for renunciates. Yeah, so we will discuss it just. Yeah, first is to evoke curiosity. So if you let's say a smartphone, if somebody just say describe like it's a mobile device that combines the functionality. No, somebody gives a very scientific definition of a smartphone. So it doesn't evoke some curiosity. They may think, okay, it's a new invention. But if someone describes, smartphone is like, it's a laptop plus camera plus phone. So then people understand, oh, then they will become more curious. Uh, because these three things, laptop, camera, and phone, they are relevant to the people. And they think, okay, one device is combining all these three. Okay, then it evokes curiosity. So this Param Brahma, Paranda, this is more, God is described in spiritual terms. But if you see, Lord is such a human being that he's fixed in his abode, but still he cannot be understood. So then this evokes curiosity. Okay, who is this person? How it is so like that? So it evokes some kind of curiosity. Then it is thought provoking. Like then people will begin to think, okay, how can such a person exist? How can such a personality exist? So then, as you told, it is Jnana Yogis because they are intellectuals. If you just tell them something simple, uh, they may accept it, but they are not so attracted to that kind of presentation. So the Jnana Yogis, they are like, they study deeply Shastras and also they want something little in a little complicated and little twisted kind of explanation. So so that is their thing. So they consider like studying Shastra. Vedanta Vakyeshu Sada Ramanta Kaupinavanta Kalu Bhagyavanta. So that is their thing. They're studying scriptures, that is their whole life and all. And it gives intellectual absorption. Like if there is something like contradictory and also one has to think a lot, then understand, okay, how this is like this. So once intelligence will be absorbed in thinking about it. So that way it gives intellectual absorption. Like even if you see, if any one of you heard about Acharya's commentaries and all, so they gave many meanings about of one shloka. So that makes one, that keeps intellect very engaged in the Lord, in Krishna. Then another is relevance, because see, again, this verse is described in terms of material things. Like it's not a direct spiritual thing, like the Lord is Achintya, the Lord is no Satchidananda Vigraha. So it may not be relevant, but if somebody is describing in this way, that no, Lord is swifter than my swifter and overcome all others running. So he's fixed in one abode, but he can overcome. No one can understand him. Generally, something is fixed means we can easily understand it, but Lord is not like that. So how it is? So this is typical of Upanishads, because Upanishads are written mainly for intellectuals. We are studying Ishopanishad from a bhakti perspective. So this is not a core devotional book, because many devotional books, they are very direct, because you are going to see like these verses more. So it's good one can make sense of why these type verses are written in this way. Yeah. And what is the relevance for us as devotees? It gives a glimpse into Jnana Yoga, so that we can appreciate how Bhakti Yoga is no very simple compared to Jnana Yoga. And it also, like there are devotees, there may be devotees who are very scholarly, who want something who have some intellectual needs. So if devotional service, devotional Krishna consciousness is presented in a intellectual way, so they will get, they will feel more connected to that kind of presentations. Even our acharyas also have done that. Like, this is a verse by Rupa Goswami, only containing na. There is no any other word. So our acharyas also have written like this. And if we have some knowledge of Upanishads, and if we can present Krishna consciousness supported by Upanishadic quotes, so this helps in like discussing with, especially with Vedic followers, like that they will appreciate it more, because we studied in the introduction that only the Upanishads and Vedas are considered as Shruti. Though our acharyas also say that even the Puranas, including Bhagavatam, also have to be considered as Shruti. Though Bhagavad Gita is principally is more considered as Smriti, because it is part of Mahabharata, which is Smriti. Though Shankaracharya, who is like widely respected, he also called Gita as Gitopanishad. But some Vedic scholars and all, they will feel more authentic if we can quote from Upanishads about devotional service, about the supremacy of Krishna, etc. Okay, so this is just some introduction, like making sense of these shlokas, why these kind of shlokas are there, etc. So the shloka we'll study in the next class. Okay, so thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Ishopanishad ki jai. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. I just wanted to remind to mark the attendance to everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.